Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. We're on, I believe, oh my goodness, week technically 5, I believe, of our distance learning. Here we are on lesson 10 of exploring space. I'm just going to look at some of our vocabulary words before we get into our story. Okay, first word here we see is observatory. A place used to observe the sun, moon, stars, and outer space. You're going to also see the plural version, observatories, in the reading. Our next word is launch. That means to send a rocket into outer space. You'll see the past tense of the word, launched, you see with the ed. Next word is Hubble telescope. That is a telescope, a very large telescope that collects information in space. It was carried into space in 1990 and will be put out of service and pulled back into Earth's atmosphere in the near future. Our next word is astronaut. That is a person who travels into outer space. Manned. That means carrying and operated by people. Apollo 11 is a rocket ship that took 3 American astronauts to the moon in 1969. Gravity, a force that pulls things toward one another. And lastly, attraction, when things are drawn to move closer together. All right, so we are going to be looking at our chapter. I move right over into it. There we are. Okay, chapter 8. So boys and girls, the title of this is Exploring Space. We're going to still continue to pay attention to bold words, okay? Not all the bold words you're going to notice are all the words that I just showed you in vocab. Some of them will be and some of them will not. I want you to pay attention to anything with text features, captions, headings, subheadings, okay? Pay attention to these things, okay? We don't want to forget about that. And this is coming right from your readers that we would be taking out together in class. Chapter 8, Exploring Space. As you have learned in the last chapters, people have been interested in studying space since ancient times. It was possible to see only some stars and planets with the naked eye. Since they were far, far away, it was impossible to see anything in very much detail. In 1609, an astronomer named Galileo created a telescope that he used to observe the night sky. Galileo's telescope made things appear 3 times larger. Using his telescope, he discovered 4 of the many moons that orbit the planet Jupiter. He also observed the planet Saturn and the Milky Way. Here's a photo of, we can see down here, our caption tells us it is a portrait of Galileo holding a telescope. Kind of put it back there for you. Okay. Since Galileo's time, scientists have created more and more powerful telescopes. Some telescopes are housed in large observatories on Earth. Often, these observatories are on the top of mountains, far away from any cities or lights. This allows astronomers to clearly see the stars and planets. Now you can see that we're seeing some of our vocabulary words that we talked about. And they're in our bold print words. Look down here, you can see our caption of our photos. Building an observatory on top of a mountain helps to get a better view of the sky. You see it's way up here, you can see the clouds above. Okay, I'm going to read our text first and then we'll go into our picture and caption. Other telescopes are launched into space using rockets. They travel far above Earth and have a better view of the universe than telescopes on Earth. One of these telescopes is the Hubble telescope. It was launched in 1990 by NASA, the American group of scientists who study outer space. The Hubble telescope is still in space today, orbiting Earth. Since its launch, it has sent back thousands of photos to NASA. Hubble's photos have led to many new discoveries about the universe. For example, using photos from Hubble, Scientists now think that the universe is about 13 to 14 billion years old. So this is a photo up here. Notice I'm not saying an illustration. This is an actual photo taken. The Hubble telescope orbits Earth above its atmosphere. Okay, so this is the actual Hubble telescope that was used. Besides sending telescopes into space, NASA has also launched rocket ships into space. Scientists believed it was too dangerous for humans to ride the first rocket ships into space. They did not know what effects space travel might have on humans. So NASA first sent apes into space on rocket ships. Why apes, you might ask? Think back to what you learned in a previous reader about animals. Apes are mammals and belong to the same group of animals called primates as humans. By studying the apes, scientists hoped to learn how space travel might affect humans. In 1961, NASA sent the first American astronaut into space on a rocket ship. His name was Alan Shepard. He stayed in space for only 15 minutes. These are real photos. This is where they sent the monkey out, the ape. We can see, tells us that our top image is Ham, one of the first apes launched into space. And this bottom photo here is Alan Shepard, who was the first American astronaut in space. Here's another photo. This is Apollo 11 firing its rockets during liftoff. After 1961, NASA sent more manned flights into space. These flights orbited Earth, but did not stop or land anywhere in space. Then, in 1969, the United States sent a rocket ship to the moon. The rocket ship was called Apollo 11. Have you ever tried to throw a ball up in the air? The ball goes up at first, then it comes back down. No matter how hard you throw it, it comes back down because of gravity. Gravity is a force of attraction that pulls things toward one another. Earth's gravity pulls the ball back down to Earth. Earth's gravity is a challenge for rocket ships like Apollo 11. In order to fly off into outer space, the rocket ship has to push up with a lot of force. It has to push up with so much force that gravity cannot pull it back down. Apollo 11 fired a lot of strong rockets. It lifted off and went up slowly at first. Then it got faster and faster. This is what it looked like after a few seconds. After just a few seconds more, it shot up out of Earth's atmosphere and into outer space. So this is a picture of Apollo 11 shooting up into space. Okay, boys and girls, that is the end of our chapter. These pictures will be posted up also on your Google Classroom. Don't forget that you not only have one Google form that's going to be labeled exploring space questions. You have 3 questions on that. And then you have another Google form today just to work a little bit more on our writing. It is going to be labeled, let's see here, what did I label it for you today? It's going to be labeled Reading and Writing Choice Board today. All right, and you're going to choose one question off of your reading and writing choice board. Just one. I gave you 3 options. You only have to choose one and write it on the lines I gave you. Okay. Have a good day, boys and girls. Miss you all.